The title of this podcast is Working on Yourself is Your Career. This is inspired by a recent Michael Singer podcast that I listened to a few weeks ago, and it really resonated with me. One of the things that I've said many times as I began to practice almost 10 years ago is that whatever I'm doing in the moment is secondary. What is primary is who I'm being in the moment that I am doing something. So, what is my attitude? What is my energy? What's going on inside of me internally? That is what's primary. And what I've learned is that by having that kind of attitude, that kind of commitment, it has really helped me master my lower self in ways that I probably wouldn't have before. Because before, I was at the effect of everything that showed up in life. So, for example, if someone said something to me, I made what they said the only thing that mattered. And me being, I guess, injured by it, upset by it, hurt by it, I made that the most important thing. And so my reactions or my responses to it was to try to make them pay for it, make them apologize for it, make them aware of what they did. I don't do that anymore. What I do now is something, and that only causes suffering, that way of doing it. If I did speak up, it caused suffering. If I didn't speak up and suppress it, it caused suffering. What I do now is make the response or the reaction secondary if it is necessary at all. What is primary is me being able to handle it, me being able to accept it, me being able to see it as an opportunity to let go of my lower self. So, for example, inside of this example, if someone said something, whether it was, I remember when I was 14, somebody said something to me about my appearance, and I stored that. And for the next 20 plus years, I carried it with me. And it affected how I showed up in life. It affected how I presented myself. And that's one way of doing it, but that was because I stored it. I made that the main thing. What I could have made the main thing is that someone made a comment, let it go. Don't carry it with me. Had I done that and made that the primary thing, it'd have been more about me exercising my agency to choose to be aware of the choices in that moment, to either take what they said and internalize it, or to let it go and not close my heart to the individual, but use that as an opportunity to grow. So that's just one example. Another example, when people go to work, they often think that their job titles, the kind of work that they do, that defines them. It can, but what happens if something threatens it? You don't get the job promotion. You have challenges at work. People don't give you credit for the work that you've done, or you don't feel respected. They don't call you by your title. That causes suffering if you become identified with those things. Those are just things that you happen to be doing, hopefully in the service of others for the good. Those are things that you happen to be doing while you are working on yourself. So when you don't get the credit, you see that as an opportunity to work on yourself. Working on yourself and not needing the credit becomes your career. In a relationship in which you feel like you're not valued, that your partner is not speaking your love language, you can do that, but it's great if they speak your love language, but you're so full of love that if they don't, that's okay too. Because you didn't come into that relationship, hopefully, if you've evolved, you didn't come to that relationship because you need something from them. You came to that relationship because you have so much love to give that you just want to share it. And if they don't want you to share it, that's okay. You share it with others. You are just an outpouring of love, of kindness. And so I encourage you that as you walk through life, whether it's at your job, whether it's in your community, whether it's parenting, or in your marriage and relationships and friendships, make working on yourself your career. Make that the most important thing. And as I say this, I think about the ways in which I've applied it at Mayo Clinic, where I work, and the ways that I've applied it at ToBeRe, a community that I'm so privileged to be a part of it because it helps me grow all the time. I just keep remembering like that thing that I'm doing right now. that thing that is bothering little Keith, that is not the focus. That is so secondary if it's in the picture at all. What is the focus is me using that situation to work on myself. I'm on a pickleball court. The minute that I make it about, I can't have fun unless we win, unless I hit every shot, I've lost myself. I've made that the most important thing and forgot that my career, that what I'm really up to is about working on myself. Win or lose, having a blast. Make the right shot, don't make the right shot, having a blast. That's what that's really about. That's available to you. And I've seen people do it, and now I marvel at them. Before, I was like, they don't really care. Oh, they care. They care about what's really important, and that is having a blast in every moment. And if I am able to get over myself, I can join them in that kind of delight. So just think about this. Your career is not what you do. Your career is working on yourself internally, not what you do on the outside. That's just a reflection of where you are internally, how good you've been beating on your craft, how well you have been working on your career internally is reflected by what's going on outside of you.